Your earpiece crackles under a low, constant hum of engines. Sunlight flashes off black paint and bulletproof glass. You taste coffee and metal. It's another departure, another route, another crowd, until the crowd feels wrong. This is your life, level by level, inside the presidential motorcade. Act 1. The departure. A regular day on duty turns into a nightmare. You stand at the curb line inside the secure compound, eyes doing their old sweep. Tires, trunks, hands. The lead car idles. The follow-up Suburban squats heavy, and the limousine sits in the center like a sealed vault. Thick doors, opaque edge tint, flags pinned stiff in the air. You watch the team run the routine. Magnet wand over a driver's belt buckle. Mirror under the chassis. K9 circle along the perimeter fence. Nose working fast. Radio check your call sign. Then the next, then the next. You tell yourself it's normal. You tell yourself the checklist is a shield. You tell yourself routine keeps you alive. The gates open. The motorcade rolls. Tight spacing, polished choreography. You count intersections ahead by habit. 1, 2, 3. The crowd starts early. Office workers, phones up, a few homemade signs pressed against barricades. You clock the gaps in the line where a person could slip through. You're moving at parade speed with war rules, and the day is smiling too hard to be trusted. Act 2. The shooter. You're the first to spot the oddity. Your gaze keeps climbing windows, balconies, rooftops because threats come from above when the street is locked down. A flat roof 2 blocks ahead catches you. Not the roof, the person. He's too still. No waving, no phone. Just a long shape braced on the ledge, elbows planted like it's a camera rig. Except the lens doesn't glint like glass. It sits matte, hungry for light. Your throat tightens around your next breath. You thumb the mic without thinking. Possible on the roof north side, third building past the pharmacy. Your voice stays even because panic travels faster than bullets. You tell yourself you might be wrong. You tell yourself you need confirmation. You tell yourself a false call can scramble the whole formation. But your eyes catch the micro movement. Shoulder settle, cheek to stock, the tiny patience of someone waiting for a clean angle. You measure distance, line of sight, where the limousine will be in 3 seconds. The worst part is knowing you saw it first because seeing first means you carry the seconds that follow. Act 3. The chaos. A bullet races past, and the world goes pandemonium. The sound isn't like movies. It's a crack that feels close enough to touch, followed by a second noise, the slap of panic as the crowd's breath turns into screams. Your training takes over before your thoughts can. You're shouting into the radio. Words clipped, shots move. The limousine lurches, acceleration pinning you for a beat as the driver punches it. You catch a blur of heads ducking, a stroller jolting sideways, barricade feet skittering on asphalt. You track the principal's door line through the glass, looking for movement, looking for blood you can't afford to see. Agents on the running boards fold in, bodies becoming armor. Hands pushing the president down and back, away from the windows. You tell yourself the glass will hold. You tell yourself the route is clear. You tell yourself you can outrun a sightline. The motorcade compresses, then stretches, cars fishtailing around confused pedestrians in a delivery van that hesitates in the wrong lane. Your earpiece turns into a storm, overlapping call signs, fragments, someone yelling, rooftop, again. In that moment, the city becomes a shooting gallery, and every open window feels like a mouth. You've left the compound. You've seen the threat. Now you have to get out through intersections you don't control, with rumors of bombs and second shooters riding your radio. Act 4. The escape. You race the motorcade through a city that suddenly feels hostile. Your knees bounce against the floorboard as the SUV surges, suspension swallowing potholes like it's chewing. Sirens bloom behind you. The driver keeps the wheel straight with both hands, knuckles pale, eyes flicking between the lead car and the next intersection. The radio spits new problems. Possible secondary device trash can at 14th. Blue sedan pushing into the route. Need air, need air. You watch the sidewalks compress into a blur of faces and phones. A cyclist wobbles into the street, frozen by the noise, and you feel the brake pulse for half a second you hate. You tell yourself the hard corner will break the shooter's angle. You tell yourself the overpass is cover. You tell yourself the hospital route is still clean. You key the mic and call for a full box. Cross streets locked. Traffic lights overridden. The decoy car split left to pull eyes. The limousine disappears into the tunnel mouth, lights strobing off concrete, and you realize escape is just another corridor you have to survive. Act 5. The aftermath. You reach safety, but the threat follows you into the quiet. The garage door drops behind you with a heavy, hydraulic finality. Inside, everything is fluorescent and wet oil sheen on concrete, exhaust hanging low, a medic's bag already open on a folding table. You stack on the limousine as it stops, shoulder to shoulder, pistols low but ready, eyes hunting for anything that doesn't belong. The door opens a fraction, then more. You scan the principal's face, the collar line, the hands. Is that sweat or blood? The doctor's gloved fingers press, check, lift fabric, then shake once clear. The air you've been refusing finally slips out. You tell yourself the glass did its job. You tell yourself the drill worked. You tell yourself this is why you trained. Then the debrief starts immediately. Time stamps, where you were positioned, who called the roof, why the route wasn't altered sooner. Evidence bags appear. A spent casing, a photo of the rooftop, a grainy still from a traffic camera. Out there, the city resets. In here, you learn that surviving is just the first report you have to write. Later, the motorcade is polished again. Radios are reprogrammed. Routes are redrawn in red ink over familiar streets. But your body keeps the memory like a second heartbeat, counting windows, counting seconds, counting the distance between normal and disaster. You can leave the garage. You can go home. You can even sleep. You just can't unhear the crack that turned a city into angles.